but 1 penny in the world, thou shouldst have it to buy gingerbread, says the country lad Costard to Moat in Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost. Although Costard's comments suggest that gingerbread was cheap if you could buy it for a penny, ginger itself was extremely expensive in the 16th century. Like sugar and pepper, everyday commodities to us in the 21st century, ginger had to be imported, and so it was only available to the wealthier households. A pound of ginger cost 20 pence, and that would have been half the weekly salary of an unskilled worker. There are a number of recipes for gingerbread in 16th and 17th century cookbooks, many of which use ground almonds, which I'm also going to be using today. So, to make my version of gingerbread, which makes 8 good sized pieces, begin by preheating your oven to 180 degrees centigrade, 160 degrees fan oven or gas mark 4. You need to grease and line a 20 centimetre shallow cake tin, and then you'll be using the following ingredients: 150 grams of unsalted butter, 170 grams of plain flour, 125 grams of soft brown sugar, 80 grams of ground almonds, and 2 teaspoons of ground ginger mixed with half a teaspoon of baking powder. Begin by melting your butter in a small saucepan over a medium heat. And when the butter's melted, turn off the heat, move it off the heat and allow it to cool for a couple of minutes. Once the melted butter has cooled, pour it into a large mixing bowl. Now you simply need to add your dry ingredients. Add your flour, your brown sugar, your ground almonds, and your ground ginger and baking powder, and mix them into the melted butter to make a smooth dough. You'll see it's ready when it all starts to sort of clump together. At that stage, you can turn it into your greased, lined tin. Press it down using the back of the wooden spoon. And even out the surface. Now it's ready to go in the oven. And you need to leave it in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes until it's golden brown on the surface. So the gingerbread has cooled down completely, and I've now been able to take it out of the tin. Now there are some recipes in the 16th and 17th centuries with icing on the gingerbread, so I thought that would be a nice thing to do. So here I have 50 grams of sieved icing sugar, to which I'm adding about half a tablespoonful of cold water, between half and 1 tablespoonful. So you stir it to make a very watery kind of glacé icing. and then you just drizzle that over the cool gingerbread. No need to have any kind of formal pattern. Make it look a bit rustic. So there you go, Shakespearean gingerbread.